Well. Oh, we just finished that. End of waiting. This is also the end of our story. Last predictions. What do you think's going to happen? Where is this? I didn't know better. I'd say that was Alex and Dave's hideaway. But look, it's got a roof put on it and a lean-to on the side. But I don't know. I just taking a guess based on the picture that we've seen before. I haven't read this yet. We're going to find out together. Ready? Let's do this. Afterward, Dave heard his father and mother talking about Mr. Ogle. He said he couldn't do it, said Father. He wasn't as brave as you thought he was. Well, maybe you wouldn't be so brave if you tried it, said Mother. It looks as if none of the other men are going to be so brave either. And Father didn't answer. Wayne Ogle said at school, that old horse won't get through the winter anyway. Before the start of the cold weather, Dave went to the timber and built a shed against the cabin. I was right. Made a prediction. He made it of poles and covered the roof with dry grass so the pony would have shelter. Here he is. And look, Dexter let Dave get close enough. Cool beans. All right, let's see what's going on. When the creek froze, Dave chopped holes in the ice so Dexter could have water. I bet that's what he's doing there. He's chopping a hole in the creek, the ice. Chop the hole in the creek. Chop the hole in the ice so that Dexter could drink from the creek. Dave took corn to the timber, although Dexter had learned to find his own food. Under the ice and snow were dry leaves and grass, with seeds and acorns among them. One day in January, Dave found the pony standing in a hollow near the creek. He went nearer. Dexter shook his mane and rolled his eyes, without moving from where he stood. Dave spoke to him. Aren't you going to run away? After all this time, are you going to trust me? Then he saw what had happened. The pony's feet were sunk in the mud. He was trapped there. That's what's going on. All right, so Dexter's stuck in the mud. He can't run away. So Dave is going to help him. With a piece of tree root, Dave tried to dig him free. The mud was stiff and half frozen. The piece of root broke in his hands. He said to Dexter, don't worry, I'll get you out. He found a flat rock that was sharp on one side. With the rock, he began to dig the mud away from the pony's hoofs. Now, he said, 2 good steps and you're out. He gave the pony a little slap on the side. Dexter threw himself forward and dragged himself out of the mud. His sides and legs were trembling. Whoa, said Dave. Let me scrape you off. But Dexter went lunging away. After that day, it seemed to Dave that the pony was never quite the same again. He was more shy than ever. He moved more slowly. Night after night, Dave woke and thought of Dexter alone in the timber. He thought of what Wayne Ogle had said. That old horse won't get through the winter. But on the first warm day of spring, Dexter came hobbling out into the pasture. He was so thin, every rib showed. His eyes were dull and tired. And Dave saw that the pony had grown old. Spring passed and most of summer. One afternoon, while Dave was trimming the hedge along the road, a car came by. The young man jumped out. The car went on. The young man was tall and brown. He wore a hat that shaded his face. "Dave?" he said. "Yes?" Dave put down his axe. "You don't know me." The young man came closer. Dave stood still. "Alex!" he said. They shook hands. "Are you all right?" Sorry. "Are you all right?" asked Alex. "Yes," said Dave. "Are you?" "Yes." Alex began rather quickly. "I've been all over since I saw you last. We went back to the circus. Then we had a chance to work on this ranch in Texas. And that's where we are now." He was looking up and down the road. "It looks the same. I didn't know whether it would or not. I didn't even know if you'd remember me." "I remember you," said Dave. "You didn't answer my letter," said Alex. "But I know how it is. You get busy with things." "I answered it," said Dave. "You did?" "My letter came back. It's funny, I still remember the name of that hotel in St. Louis, the Blair Avenue Hotel." "We were there," said Alex. "But maybe when your letter came, we hadn't got there yet. It took us a while to get from Kansas City to St. Louis. In that letter, I wrote you about your Uncle John." "I know about him," said Alex. "You do?" "Yes. After what he did, we thought we never wanted to see him again. But then my father said we shouldn't blame him too much, because he was sick. He wrote to him last week. The letter went to his lawyer, and the lawyer wrote to us. My father and I came up. He's at the hospital now. I hitchhiked out here, and my father's going to pick me up. Don't let me keep you from your work. I'll just wait around." "Well, do you know about Dexter?" asked Dave. If you don't mind," said Alice, "I'd rather not talk about it." "All right. I just wanted to know if you'd seen him." "Seen him?" "Dexter's alive," said Dave. Alex turned pale. Dave told him what had happened. Alex asked, almost in a whisper, "Where is he?" "On your old place," said Dave. "Do you want to go over there?" They walked to the Arvin place and into the timber. They passed that cabin with the shed on one side of it. "You made that for him, didn't you?" said Alex. "You put that feed box there." They went on. "Are you sure he's here?" asked Alex. "I saw him 2 days ago," said Dave. He began to feel afraid. They came to the far side of the timber. Alex had been walking ahead. He stopped. There, among the trees, was Dexter. He started away, his hind legs dragging through the grass. He looked back at them through the matted hair that hung over his eyes. He knows me," said Alex. "Dexter!" he began to cry. Later, as Dave and Alex walked back through the timber, Dave asked, "Can you stay with us tonight?" "No, my father said he'd stop for me, but he'll bring me back tomorrow." In the morning, Alex and his father were back in a pickup truck with Sunny Acres Ranch painted on the door. Hitched to the truck was a horse trailer. Let's check that out. That'll be Alex and what's left of Dexter, the horse he loved so much. Dave rode with him to the old Arvin place. He went with him into the timber. They found the pony not far from where he had been the day before. Alex had brought a halter and a rope. He slipped the halter over Dexter's head. "Come on," he said. "I'm taking you home. You and I are going to Texas. What do you think of that?" And Dexter let himself be led through the timber and across the pasture. Dave opened the gate. The three of them half lifted, half pushed the pony into the trailer. Alex's father said to Dave, "Get in. We'll take you back to their house." "No, thank you," said Dave. It's hard to turn around with a trailer. I'll walk." "Goodbye," said Alex. I'll see you. I'll see you," said Dave. The truck and the trailer pulled away. They were out of sight. Dave looked down the empty road. Alex was gone again. Now Dexter was gone too. Yet they would never really be gone because of the way he remembered them. Alex on the trapezes. Alex racing along on the pony. Dexter coming out of the timber in the spring. Now he could imagine a new picture. Dexter in a green pasture with a barn nearby, and the house where Alex lived. Alex talking to the pony, and the pony listening. And that is that. So what'd you think? Not bad, right? Okay. Answer the questions, and we're officially done.